Something felt wrong, but no one said a word.
A quiet room, a warning unheard.
Smiles too tight, a laugh too forced.
Every instinct said,
Change your course. The vibes were off.
The lights were low.
We missed the signs. We should have known. The vibes were off. Hi, everyone. Welcome to our brand new podcast called The Vibes Were Off. I'm Catherine.
And I'm Meg. Oh, we're not.
No.
Yeah, you wanted to talk about
okay.
yourself a little bit. Go for it, Catherine.
Yeah, I am a mother of two boys, and I work in the tech industry as an operations manager. And I wanted to do this podcast to kind of spend time with my sister, do a couple of fun TikToks, get to know each other a little bit better, and just have fun. Our day jobs are very taxing, so we just want to have some fun.
Yeah. And I'm Meg. She talks about day jobs. Her day job is taxing. I actually just quit my job to be a stay-at-home mom for my 8-month-old.
We love that.
Yeah, we're very excited for that. But I was like, I got to do something else to keep me sane. So here we are. What'll keep you saner than telling true crime and ghost stories? It's perfect.
Yeah, no, it's great. We'll definitely sleep well tonight.
Yeah, perfect.
Okay, so our podcast is going to feature true crime, haunting, urban legends, but we're going to focus on survivors. Meg and myself are survivors, as I'm sure some of you guys are. So we just want to tell you our survivor story. And to tell you her story, we have to start at the beginning. So this is the survival story of Angela Hommell. And she was attacked by David Allen Gore and Fred Waterfield, also known as Florida's killing cousins. Ooh, get some serial killers on today.
I think your family has some problems.
No kidding. I do want to do a trigger warning for rape, assault, torture, and murder of women and underage children. Unfortunately, these are serial killers, and they got away with a lot before they were finally caught.
How about we just blanket statement on our entire podcast? Trigger warning.
It's going to be rough. Yeah, exactly. Okay, so it actually begins August 21st, 1953, when the spawn of Satan was born in southern Florida. David Allen Gore was the firstborn child to his parents. He had a younger sister. I don't want to give her name out, just in case she's not the spawn of Satan as well. Never know. According to his public defender that he had later in life, he grew up in absolute poverty, a factor they said could have driven him to commit these crimes. Exactly.
We kind of grew up poor, and I don't want to murder anybody.
Yeah, yeah, that's ridiculous. As you can imagine, he was a total loser in school, and his only friend was his first cousin, Fred Waterfield. I'll get to him in a bit. Gore reportedly felt deep resentment towards women, even from a young age. He perceived them as snobbish, specifically the cheerleaders at school, who he said bullied him. I don't know about that, but keep that nugget in the back of your brain. I have a story that's relevant later.
Doesn't like cheerleaders.
Yeah, there it is. He married Donna, just 18 years old, and was never faithful or decent to her, as you can imagine. They had a son born of the marriage, Michael, in 1974, but they were divorced a year later in 1975. Quick marriage.
They were 18 when they got married?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shocker.
Ridiculous. Yeah, sounds like it was a shotgun marriage, too. There's a baby.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. He was married again in 1975 to Connie, but this marriage only lasted about a year, too.
Oh, Connie, baby. Why?
The signs were there. There was a brief marriage. We married her again, Donna. And they had another son, Jonathan, which...
Come on, girl.
You get those babies.
Do better.
Yeah. But they separated again sometime in 1981. Somehow he convinced a third woman to marry him, though the exact dates are unknown. What we do know is that she was one of only 3 people to visit him in prison before he was, spoiler alert, executed by lethal injection, and she was listed as an ex-wife.
Okay, at least she's loyal.
There you go. Okay, so his career started with a bang as he was fired from his first job as a gas station attendant after it was discovered that he had drilled a hole into the women's bathroom and was peeping on them.
Yikes.
Yeah, don't like that. He was just 16 and already a predator. After he was fired from the gas station, he secured a position as the caretaker of a remote citrus grove, something his father also did. It was a place he would go to use for many of his sexual assaults and murders, its remote location making it easy for him to hunt and hurt his victims. He was also an avid gun fan and spent his free time learning about gunsmithing.
Okay. So was he working on the same farm that his dad did, or just similar?
It was just similar.
Okay.
They weren't the same.
Okay.
Yeah. But it's, family business, if you will, I guess. All right. So now for a little backstory on his accomplice and first cousin. Fred Waterfield was born September 29th, 1952 in New Jersey. He was the product of an affair his mother had, a fact that would make him resent women from an early age. His father worked at NASA. Yeah, like NASA.
Okay.
Like down the street NASA.
Yeah, a little too close to home there.
A little bit. Which is interesting. He was born in New Jersey. But I guess there's other NASAs around here. Right?
There's other NASAs.
Yeah. There's other branches and stuff.
I mean, we're the right one, but there's other ones.
Yeah. They're good. Hashtag launch from Houston. Do people do hashtags anymore?
No,
is that cool?
I don't think so.
All right. Justice for the Houston NASA. Okay, back to the story. He was also resented by his father because he was not biologically his, right? So he took it out on him. His Uncle Gore, David's father, did most of the parenting. I mean, if you can even call it parenting.
Yeah.
I think it was just more of a situation of try to keep him alive and who cares what happens after that.
Yeah.
The two cousins were very close, even telling people that they were brothers instead of cousins. But that closeness had a dark side. Their sexual urges were a match in each other, and they found the best enabler for awful and deviant behavior. Not good.
I don't like this.
In school, they were the complete opposites. Where David was an awkward outcast, Fred was popular, outgoing, and a football star, though he did have quite a bad temper. It is alleged that Fred's first crime was committed at just 10 years old with a family friend. The victim was only 8. Nothing ever came from this, as it was not reported at the time, which was an unfortunate theme in that household. David's first sexual experience was around 18 years old when he, allegedly, watched Fred sexually assault his sister, who was Fred's first cousin.
Ugh.
This crime was also not reported at the time, though it was brought up during the later trials.
Oh, okay.
So, Fred's wife filed for divorce shortly after this alleged assault in 1971, leading one to believe that even though it was not reported to police, it was known what a monster he was. So, yeah, keep that. Their first attempts at assault were often clumsy and harebrained. They luckily failed quite a few times, which begs the question, how did they keep getting more opportunities?
Nobody saying anything about these creeps?
Right. Well, let me set the scene a little bit. This is a small town in Vero Beach, Florida, where their families...
Okay. Florida.
Yeah, Florida.
There's a NASA there.
Yeah.
Florida.
There it is. Oh, that makes sense. Florida. Little Taylor Swift interlude. But they were well off in the community. His dad worked for NASA, so they had a lot to do.
Yeah. This is the 70s too, right?
Right.
So.
It was the 70s. Women aren't really believed when they talk about sexual assault or kidnappings or anything, honestly.
Yeah.
So they were men with money and influence, so they got away with it. One of the survivors of the killing cousins detailed how they shot out her tires and attempted to abduct her. Luckily, she was able to run away.
Okay. That's aggressive.
Like, nobody else in this town notices we're, shooting at tires.
Yeah. Okay.
Shortly after that attempt, they were stalking a woman in heavy traffic for hours. When she parked in a crowded parking lot, the pair decided it was too dangerous to abduct her as someone would see them. So I would like to remind everyone here, Gore is married with small children at home. And he is out prowling and shooting out tires of women.
With his cousin.
Yeah, which is just bros.
Yeah.
Doing bro stuff.
He needs to cool off, okay? He's got a lot at home.
There's a lot going on, yeah. All that child rearing he's doing. Okay, now to our survivor. Angela Hommell was a 20-year-old woman who had recently immigrated to Florida for her husband, Bob Hommell, after meeting and falling in love in Germany when he was stationed there with the army.
Oh. So she's German?
She's full German.
Oh, wow.
English is her second language.
And she came to Florida?
To Florida, yeah. So you think it's a love story, huh?
I mean,
No,
I don't think so anymore.
There's no happy endings around here. Shortly after they arrived in America, however, their relationship took a hard and unexpected turn. You know, we see that a lot.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, Bob would frequently cheat on her and routinely beat her. With one incident being so bad, he was forced to take her to the hospital for a stab wound in her hand.
Okay.
And again, the hospital was just like, she probably, talked up to you, huh?
Oh, she fell, huh?
Right.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, make sure you take care of that next time. Which is wild.
At least they took her to the hospital.
Yeah, that's, I guess, the silver lining in the story. It is important to note that, like the other men in the story, Bob's family was very well off and very connected to the community. So, a lot of turned shoulders, closed eyes on that one. Angela was deeply religious. She was a devout Roman Catholic, and she didn't believe in divorce, so she was stuck in an unimaginable situation.
And she's in the U.S.
Right.
So who does she know here? What does she got?
No family, no friends.
Right?
It's like, good luck.
Yeah.
Hope you survive, I guess.
That's rough.
The morning of July 22nd, 1976, Angela was leaving her home to go to work as a medical technician. She was a medical technician for the VA, which is just so sweet. When she noticed her 2 back tires were flat, she ran back inside to call her husband for help, but he was, and I'm doing air quotes here, unavailable. Too busy. Didn't have time.
Okay.
Yeah, great husband.
Perfect.
Angela was an independent woman and knew how to replace her own tires. Dang it. It's something that was actually required in Germany to get your driver's license.
That's so smart.
Right?
You should be able to do that, yes.
At least a simple tire change.
Right.
But she only had one spare.
Right.
So why would you
also,
have more
though,
than one?
2 of them, that's suspicious. Maybe we should, think a little more before we're like, oh, let's just go on with our day.
Yeah. You're on the right track.
Yeah.
And if her husband had been a decent husband.
Gone outside?
Right. No, he was at work.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she called him at work.
Oh, okay.
But
He
was
just couldn't
too busy.
leave work.
Yeah.
Right.
Super important. I don't know what he did in the army, but
Gotcha.
I guess it was too important to help his wife. Her husband actually instructed her to call his friend who owned an automotive shop who would come over and help her. This friend was Fred Waterfield.
Oh, no.
Who she actually met before and disliked from the second she saw him.
Yeah, because he gives off bad vibes.
I thank you for saying that, because my next line is, even though the vibes were off, she called him for help.
Yeah.
So, yeah, the vibe, she knew he wasn't a good guy. She knew.
Yeah.
Yeah, because evil like that, you can see.
But what are you going to do in a desperate situation?
Right. He was her only option, and people's lives literally depended on her going into work.
Yeah.
So she was like, whatever I gotta do. So Fred pulled up in a Lincoln Continental with a promise to take her to work, then go back and fix her tires. On the way, Fred took wrong turns and even stopped at a gas station, which, what are we doing?
Come on, guy.
Come on. He came out with 2 paper bags of vodka, because that's what I want my driver to be doing.
At that moment, I would have got it out of the car. But like, no, thank you.
See you later.
I'll see you
Have
later.
a good one.
Yeah.
Yep. While he drank one, he offered the other one to Angela, which she quickly declined. Because,
no, she's just on her way to work.
Girl's
at
going
the
to
hospital.
work. Right.
Sure.
Just get a casual nip in before we go.
In the world.
Well, here it comes, right? He told her he knew a shortcut through an orange grove.
Not the orange grove.
Yeah. But it was at this point, Angela began to get agitated and noticed he was chugging vodka.
Yeah, and also it makes no goddamn sense for a shortcut
Right,
to be through an orange
grove.
field.
You're like, okay, about the
that
vibes.
doesn't make any sense.
Vibes are weird, man. So he started picking up speed and driving recklessly. He actually drove the car into a canal while attempting to light a joint.
Okay.
So that happened.
Full crazy.
Full crazy. So then he forced the paper bag in her hand and screamed at her to drink. Like, he changed. He was like, you're going to drink, you're going to relax, and I'm going to figure out how to get us out of this canal. Now, this canal is like not like a ditch that we have, right? It's like it's the water source to the orange grove. So it's like a small river.
Right.
Okay, cool. Just setting the scene.
Okay.
She was like,
can they even get out of this time?
well, it's just a little bit. She was like, hey, she's like, independent woman she is.
Kind of veered off the
Why
road
don't you let me help you get us out of the ditch? There could be gators in here. I'm not about that life. Also, this is sketchy. We got to go.
Gotcha. Okay.
And he was like, no, don't worry. My cousin will come help.
No.
And so Dave Gore appears out of the trees like a psycho.
Like he was just waiting.
Just
there.
waiting.
Okay.
Yeah. There had to have been a phone call. Like we don't have cell phones, but he definitely called him.
Yeah, that he's just standing
Just like in the right place in the orange grove while they wreck their car.
Fancy meeting you here.
Right. So Dave is now appearing out of the orange grove.
Right. Super cash.
Super casual. He's like, hey, I can help. Helped move the car. Then jumped in the front seat, forcing Angela into the back. Fred then reached into the glove compartment and pulled out a gun and forced her to drink at gunpoint. These guys are obsessed with drinking. It'll come out later, but they can't perform their crimes if they're not drunk. And they want everybody around them to be drunk.
Yeah.
Just seems like maybe don't do it if you have to be wasted
to get it done.
Yeah. Fred then directed her to take off all of her clothes. David asked Fred if they could do it, to which Fred nodded his head and said yes, which is a gross power dynamic.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what this weird
right, he
Fred
has
is
permission.
Right, he's getting permission. Ugh. I'm not sure.
But nobody asked Angela.
No, there's no
Don't
consent
her,
here. Angela said they were both suddenly in a frenzy and that they changed, their eyes appearing black and not human-like. That's what she said, not human-like, which I can't imagine.
No.
Because, like, there's crazy, and then there's, you're not a human anymore.
Yeah.
It makes me scared. Okay, we're definitely going to sleep good tonight.
Yeah.
Fred gave David the gun and said, I'm first, which he did often, unfortunately. Angela would recall the revolting stench that followed Fred into the back seat. Both of them were overweight, sweating, and smelled like gross garbage. It was so bad that it made breathing difficult for Angela.
That's disgusting.
Yeah, that's gross.
Like, you're already in a bad situation, but then on top of that,
you have to, it's hard to breathe.
Yeah.
Now, first problem here. Well, we're on like the 10th problem. But Fred couldn't get it up.
Well, because he's wasted.
Drunk. Right.
Yeah.
And smoking a joint.
Yeah.
Angela, out of nervousness, began to laugh. Like,
oh, baby, no.
Pop off, queen. But that really pissed him off.
Yeah.
And he demanded that she help him. Okay, I want to remind you here, because this is going to come up in the police investigation about the helping him, that she had a gun pointed at her head.
Right.
There was no, if you want, no pressure.
It wasn't a suggestion.
It was, I'll blow your head off if you
right.
don't. Okay.
Yeah.
This was in no way consensual. Just, make sure that's crystal clear. David was tasked with holding her legs open while he chanted, "My turn," over and over. Just like a wasted, gross, nasty man chanting, "My turn."
No.
Ugh. Gross. So after Fred raped her, David did as well. All the while, Fred was entertaining himself. She was traded between them multiple times until they ripped her. She passed out from a combination of pain and an inability to breathe. Their stench was that gross. After a little while, Fred slapped her awake in time for her to hear David ask him, "Can I tell her?" in an excited voice. Fred said, "Yeah, go ahead and tell her."
Tell her what?
Mm-hmm. David pulled out a serrated butcher knife and said, "You're not going anywhere. We're going to kill you."
Okay.
Yeah. So he took the knife and started stabbing and carving into her stomach, just trying to make it as gross as possible, I guess. He then told her, "We're going to cut you up and we're going to feed you piece by piece to the gators so no one can find you."
With a tiny little knife.
It was a serrated butcher knife. This is a big knife.
Okay.
Also,
not big enough to cut through. I mean, maybe.
You have a will, you have a way. Also, David was a butcher.
Oh.
So he worked, as a butcher.
He brought that knife from work.
Oh, for a reason.
Probably. Okay.
Mm-hmm. At this point, Angela knew she was going to die, so she pleaded to them for a minute to pray before they finished. For some reason, thank goodness, they let her. She described her prayer as a goodbye, hopeful that her family in Germany would somehow find her body.
Was she speaking in German? Was her
yes.
prayer in German?
Mm-hmm.
Love that.
Yeah. She didn't know how. She was like, please let them at least find my body. I don't want them to not have anything to mourn. But she was also mad at her husband, who she is absolutely sure set her up to be given to these monsters.
It kind of feels like that.
Mm-hmm. She asked Jesus to accept her into heaven, and then she felt a warmth and saw a white light, and then she felt a surge of power. She describes it as knowing exactly what to do.
Yes, queen.
She opened her eyes to look Fred down. So she looked him straight in the eyes, and she said, Fred, look at me. My father is a disabled veteran. He is high up in politics in Germany. I have a German passport. They will find you. I have to report to the American authorities and immigration. They will go straight to Bob, her husband, and ask where I am.
Right. You're the last person she's been seen with.
You can't just disappear her.
Easily.
Right.
Yeah.
The German government doesn't play games, is what she said. And she said that she insinuated that, what happened to the Nazis? You know
that war that was just...
You know how we, knocked them all out? They're coming for you.
Yeah. Fred.
Right. And David. Ugh. Fred looked at her and blinked a few times, like a drunk idiot, and then told David, let me think. He said that would happen. Angela asked what he meant by he said that would happen.
Right. Who said that would happen?
Right. The husband.
Bob.
Mm-hmm. But he just told her to shut up. He then directed David to clean her up so they could take her back, which, fine. Take me back.
Right.
Great.
But in a hurry, because I'm kind of bleeding out right now.
Right.
Because you already stabbed me.
On the way, they both made her promise repeatedly to not tell police what happened. Yeah, she did.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. Not going to tell us, soul.
Nobody will know about this. Don't you fret. Just drop me right off. Thanks, y'all. So they dropped her off on the other side of her neighborhood, so she had to walk the rest of the way home in pain.
Yeah.
Yeah. The first thing she did when she was home was jump in the shower and repeatedly scrub herself, trying to get their stench off of her. She said she couldn't think of anything else.
I get that, but also, you've been stabbed. Maybe let's go to the hospital.
911?
Nothing?
Please?
Take a bath.
But she's also a battered woman.
Yeah.
She's been stabbed before, unfortunately, by her own husband.
Yeah.
So she knew she needed to go to the hospital for, at the minimum, a tetanus shot. Because the knife David had used was disgusting and rusty.
Yeah, he probably used it at work. Mm-hmm. Who knows what was in there?
But her tires are still flat, so she has no way to get there.
Yes.
The tires. So she called her husband again, unfortunately. Probably should have been just 911 at that point.
Right.
But you have to remember, she's an immigrant. English is her second language. She doesn't know how it works here. Her husband is well connected, who set her up, obviously.
But also, go to the neighbor.
Well, yeah, maybe. If they'll even believe her at this point.
There's no judgment, just...
Yeah, no victim shaming here.
Just got questions.
Mm-hmm. Bob, was actually upset for her still being at home and bothering him at work. He's like, what are you doing? Why are you not at work? She's like, hey... I'm really hurt, and I need some help.
Fred over there.
Remember Fred?
Didn't get me to work. Yeah. Stabbed me, raped me.
Right.
But then brought me back here. So...
You know what Bob said? I'll be right home. They weren't supposed to do that. What the fuck do you mean?
First
they
of all,
weren't supposed to do that.
So you knew David was going to be there. Mm-hmm. So, oh, no, mm-hmm. Bob. Mm-mm.
Bob.
Get out of there, girl.
Right.
Don't wait for him to get home.
Get out. She's doing great now. Don't worry.
Okay,
she's thriving. But when he got there and he saw her, he said, let me look at you. You're a mess. Shit. Let me think. I guess you have to go to the hospital. Like, yeah, Bob. I guess she has to go to the hospital.
Just a slow blink.
Right. Just a slow blink. She remembered him being really frazzled and announced to the doctors that he didn't do it as soon as they got to the hospital. Well, yeah, of course they assumed he did it because he brought her in before.
He was like, not this her one, before. Though.
Not this one. The other ones, sure, but not this one. It's crazy. He forced her to tell the doctors who actually hurt her because she wasn't going to say anything. But he didn't want to get blamed for this.
Right.
So he forced her
even though
to tell them.
You've probably got to be in on this.
Right.
So it is kind of your fault, but okay.
Yeah, she really, really didn't want to say anything because she was like, I'll let it go. They let me live.
Yeah, because if you do, they're going to come back and kill you.
Because clearly they know. Right. But he was a known wife beater and he couldn't have that on his rap. So the doctor called police once he realized that she had been severely assaulted. And Angela told them it was Fred Waterfield and David Gore. The detective, though, didn't believe her, as Fred and David were outstanding members of the community. And the detective said there was absolutely no way they could do what she was accusing them of.
So she just picked those two names, those two people at random.
Just randomly. Yep.
People she probably barely knew.
Yep. Yeah, and remember, this is Florida in the 70s, so it's going to get really gross here. But the detectives actually encouraged her to name 2 black men as suspects and even offered pictures of them so she could identify them.
Yeah, okay.
So gross. But Angela was not a horrible person, and she would not back down and continued to name the actual perpetrators.
Right, because why would you want to put 2 innocent people away and let these monsters still roam around free?
Exactly. They're going to do this again.
Yeah.
Right. Just want to remind everyone, Angela is new to America and English is her second language. She repeatedly asked for a translator and help from the German government, which she was repeatedly denied. Which is insane. Why would you not
get her a translator?
Get her a translator.
Right. And so you make sure that you're getting her story correctly.
Right. Exactly. Shockingly, though, David and Fred were both arrested and brought to the police station the next day, where they told detectives that the sex was consensual and that Angela was having an affair with them to get back at her husband for cheating on her.
Bob was cheating?
Yeah, with a lot of people.
Yes, that's right.
Bob was awful.
Bob was not a great guy.
Yeah, let me cheat on my husband with cousins.
Right.
What makes sense?
Gross cousins.
Yeah, and I told him to just stab me a couple of times. That's what I was into.
Yeah.
And she was horrifically, assaulted, ripped from, end to end. But it was consensual, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, they believed him, and they were released later that day. The same day, Angela went to the police station where she was interviewed by a female sheriff. All right, we got a win here, right? We get a female. She's going to be compassionate. Going to believe her.
No, probably not.
No, you're correct. Yep, that's correct. Nope, she was awful too. Instead of comfort and belief, the woman insinuated that Angela was drunk and high and made the whole story up to get Fred and David in trouble.
But for what reason?
I know.
She was just trying to get to work.
Right. She just needs to go. Can y'all go look at the tires, please? Like something.
No sense.
So they just accused her of trying to ruin their lives and lying to the police. It got so bad that they threatened to take her visa away and deport her if she kept lying.
Yeah. Okay, great.
You're like, Bet,
please
can I get out?
Please deport me. Yes.
Right.
I love that.
Now, it's going to make you sick. But she still kept to her story. They demanded she take a lie detector test.
Which she's telling the truth.
Can you imagine?
Great. Yes.
Can you imagine?
I will do that right now.
All right, victim, take a lie detector. But in a language you don't understand.
That's very
with
true.
People you don't know what they're saying.
Yeah.
And no help. Because your husband's gone. Bob left. Bob's out. He's like, this is too much for me. I gotta go. They told her she failed the lie detector test. Which she didn't. Came out a decade later in court records. She didn't. They just told her she didn't. Right. And so they were going to revoke her visa and going to put her in jail if she pursued this any further.
That's wild.
So she was like, okay, I guess not.
Bye. Just deport me.
Right.
Please let me go back to Germany.
Well, Bob didn't want her to leave, right? So she had to stay, but he wasn't going to support her in any way. Though the police did search the Lincoln Continental and found the exact gun she described. The police said it was perfectly legal to have, and there's nothing that they could do about it.
Right. They definitely didn't use that to rape her.
Right. No, they would just have a gun.
Yeah.
Just totally legal. No worries.
Yeah.
They also told her they went to check out her story and that her tires weren't flat. So she lied.
Yeah, they couldn't
They
possibly
couldn't have possibly fixed her tires.
Right.
No, they're not flat. You liar.
Oh my God.
Bob told her to drop it and never talk about it again. So that's what she did. She just went on until part 2, when we get to part 2.
Oh, gosh.
Yep. It is unknown how many women they assaulted during this time, but Gore bragged in letters from prison that he would get women past the point of drunk, take them to his Orange Grove trailer, and assault them. He actually enjoyed assaulting them when they were unconscious.
Yeah.
Yeah. Gross.
Well, that's the only way he can enjoy it, because they're not ever
Right.
going to look at him and be like, yes, I want
This
to
is
do
the
it with
one.
you.
Yeah. After that, in
Gross.
1980, Gore was somehow able to obtain an auxiliary sheriff's deputy position. Yeah, they don't do any background checks. They're just like, what, you rape and assault people? Yeah, promoted.
Promoted.
Unfortunately, with being a fake police officer, air quotes, he got a very real badge. A badge he would use to commit some of his crimes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so we'll get into, he has many victims, these killing cousins. We'll get into the first 2. The first confirmed killings of David Gore and Fred Waterfield came in early February 1981. Gore began stalking 17-year-old Ying Ling, an award-winning math champion at her high school. He watched her for days, waiting for the perfect opportunity to strike. On February 19th, he did strike. As Ying was getting off the school bus, he drove up to her, flashed her his badge, air quotes again, badge, and told her she had to get in his truck.
Is that a high school student?
Yeah, yep. She's only 17.
How old are Fred and David at this point?
They're in like mid-20s.
Okay.
Yeah. So he drove to her house, and he knew where she lived because he's a gross stalker. Reminder.
Don't like that.
And entered her home intending to sexually assault her. He was surprised by Ying's mother, Hsang, at the home. During his stalking, he didn't see her mother, so he was like, cool, she'll be home alone, no worries, I have her all to myself. Well, that's because she had just recently joined her husband and 2 kids in America. The Ling family had just immigrated from Taiwan in hopes of a better life. So sad.
That's very sad.
Yep. The father and 2 children, Ying and her brother, moved in first. Hsang recently joined them to begin living the American dream. So sad. They
So
just
he
get
didn't
there.
know that the mom was there.
Right, because she
Gotcha.
literally, if he would have struck a day before, a day after, it would have been totally different. So back in the home, Gore had to think quick and decided to arrest Hsang. She likely didn't understand what was going on and offered little resistance after
Right.
seeing Gore flash his police badge.
Yeah, because some stranger comes into your home and puts you under. She probably thought it was like immigration or something.
Right.
Like she had done something wrong.
Yep. So there was no resistance. He just took both of them. Gore loaded the pair into his truck and set out for his Orange Grove. On the way, he called Waterfield to meet him there. While waiting for Fred to show up, Gore tied both women up to trees facing each other. Just out in the open where nobody could hear them. They had enough acreage where they were just at the mercy of these monsters.
How terrifying.
So Gore assaulted both of them repeatedly, going back and forth. And then once Fred arrived, he dismissed Hsang, saying she wasn't his type, and then he assaulted Ying repeatedly in front of her mother. Like, can you imagine? He's just like, nah, not that one.
Gross animal human
Gross.
beings saying, no, not you.
Not mine. You're too. He said she was too old.
Right.
Like, a little too old. I like them, minor
You're
children.
disgusting.
It's disgusting. Gore retied Hsang after her frantic attempts to escape out of the ropes. She was getting out.
Yeah.
She was like, nope, not my kid. She was
Right.
getting out. But then Gore added a rope around her neck, which allowed her to slowly suffocate to death.
Oh my.
Gore would talk later how it took a long time.
Right.
Yeah. Fred left quickly after raping Ying, but not before giving Gore $400 for procuring a victim for him. Something he would do repeatedly. He paid Gore for these women.
Okay.
Yeah, paper trail. But everyone's just like, no, it was for oranges.
And it was all consensual.
Yeah, don't worry about it. The cause of death for Ying is unknown, but what we do know is that Gore dismembered mother and daughter, placed them into steel drums, and buried them deep in the orange grove.
What happened to their gator plan?
Yeah.
No, we're going for drums now.
Yeah, and he buried them like 8 to 10 feet deep. How long does it take to dig a hole 8 feet deep?
Oh, a long
for
time.
two 55-gallon drums.
Right.
These are big drums.
Yeah.
He had some time.
Yeah, definitely not heat of the moment.
No, planned for sure. Hsing's son came home shortly after the pair were taken, surprised by an empty house. He alerted his father to the missing women, and together they went down to the police station to report them missing.
Where I'm sure they were like we don't really care.
100%. It was really sad. Hsing's son talked about he came home less than 10 minutes after they were taken.
Yeah, that'll stick with you.
Very close.
It
right?
wasn't your fault.
But no, I'm glad they didn't, because he would have been taken too.
Yeah, or they would have just killed him right there.
Immediately. Shockingly, their dad and husband worked as a fruit inspector at a packing plant. And my morbid part of my brain was like, I wonder if he processed any of the citrus that came from that
those oranges.
Ugh, so scary.
Gross connection.
So the police had no clue on where to start with the women's disappearance, and there wasn't ever a lead on their whereabouts. So the case had gone cold, and the family wouldn't get answers for several more years.
Yeah.
Just
because
nothing.
how can you make that connection?
Right, it was completely random.
Super random.
Or maybe, how about the rapist and attempted murderers in your town?
But they're not.
Go talk to them.
They just have fun, quirky, consensual sex.
Right. Ugh. It's gross. It wasn't until Gore and Waterfield were arrested that Gore led police to their bodies, still buried amongst the oranges. They were returned to their family December 7th, 1983, nearly 3 years after they were killed.
I mean, at least they got returned.
I know, that's the only thing I could say of when we talk about death penalty and stuff is just tell me where they are.
Yeah.
I'll let you rot in prison the rest of your life. Just tell me where they are.
Yeah.
Just 5 months later, they would strike again. I don't know how. That's a lot of work. 5 months. But Fred had a request. He wanted a blonde. So Gore had to get back on the wagon.
Yeah.
Time to go get another one. Judith K. Daly was visiting in Indian River County from California, where she decided to have a day at the park. She went to Round Island Park to enjoy the weather and probably just enjoy being by herself, right? Girl day. Go have fun. While she was soaking up the sun, Gore was out hunting. Waterfield wanted a blonde, and a blonde he was determined to find. Once Gore spotted her, he waited for an opportunity when she was distracted to disable her car. This is another thing that he did. Then all he had to do was wait for her to leave. When she tried and failed to start her car, Gore appeared like this wonderful savior, flashing his badge. Oh, I'm here to save you. Why don't you? I'll get you to a telephone. Just jump in my truck. Gross. Judith, probably feeling a great sense of relief, took him up on the help.
Yeah. He's got a badge.
Great.
He's here to help.
Take me to a phone? Thank you.
It's interesting to me that they are finding people who are either immigrants or transplants to the area.
Right.
It's not people who
know them.
Yeah, are going to be connected to them.
Yep.
Except for that first one, because Bob. But
Bob, gross. Team hate Bob. But once they were in his truck, Gore pulled a gun out and a pair of handcuffs, sealing her fate. On the way to the citrus grove, he called Waterfield to let him know he had finally found the woman he wanted so badly. Which is gross. You think about that conversation. He's like, I got her.
Right.
I got her.
He's all excited.
Right. Knowing
just
what they're
he
gonna
was
do
excited to say, oh, can I tell her that we're going to kill her?
Right.
He's a weirdo.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Once back in the trailer, Gore tied her up and waited for Fred to arrive because Fred's got to go first.
Right.
That's the theme. Fred gets to go first. Fred's got the cash, so he gets to go first. Fred raped her repeatedly until he was literally too drained to do anything else. Once he was finished, he wrote Gore a check. A check for $1,500.
Oh.
Well, because he'd been looking for a blonde for a while.
Yeah.
And I'll post a picture of her, but she's beautiful. Judith is gorgeous. So I guess he felt $1,500 was appropriate in the 70s.
Yeah, that's a
So
lot of
much
money.
Mm-hmm.
Guess the orange fields pay off.
No, he had the
Orange
automotive
roast?
shop. Fred did. He
Oh,
owned it.
that's
so
right.
he had some money. Plus his dad was rich.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But now Judith was alone with Gore. So he assaulted and tortured her for hours, doing all sorts of unimaginable things to her, including scalping her because he liked her hair so much.
That's disgusting.
Yeah, yeah. When he was through with her, he strangled her, then dismembered her before burying her in a shallow grave on the grounds of the citrus orchard. Orchard. It's fine. Everything's great. He initially told police he fed her to the gators to lead them away from the truth, but when he was leading them to the other two bodies, he led them to her partial remains, where they found her skull, hands, and feet stashed in a garbage bag. The rest of her remains have never been found.
So maybe he did feed a little bit of her to gators.
Right, like maybe that was the test. Will they actually?
Yeah, but you saved all like the important parts, like the identifiable parts.
Right.
Which seems dumb.
Seems dumb unless he's dumb and just wants to keep
Yeah.
the trophies. Yeah. He said that he may have dumped them in a nearby canal, but we'll never know the actual truth. Just a week later, Gore would finally be stripped of his stupid fake badge. Police started investigating him after a local man reported that he had stopped his teenage daughter on a rural highway the day before. Yeah, so he was doing this all the time. Gore had presented his badge and attempted to keep the girl for questioning. We don't know, like, what questioning?
No.
What are you questioning her
He
for?
was going to take her to Fred.
Right, exactly. So we don't know exactly what he was trying to ask her about, but we do know that he was hunting and the teenager was lucky to have survived the ordeal. After a short investigatory period, Gore was officially relieved of his badge. Like, finally. Were the rapes not enough for you?
Why did he even have a badge
And
to begin
he
with?
is a serial killer at this point with the
Right.
badge. So, great. At least now he wouldn't be able to lure women using it anymore. A small victory, but one that counts. Also at this point, one has to wonder if they were looking into him for any other strange behavior or if it's just like a one and done. They were like, this is the only time he's ever done anything weird.
Yeah, no, probably not.
Yeah, right?
It's never just the once.
Just like, maybe we should look into this guy a little bit more. No. Just a few days later, Gore would be arrested for, sorry, I know you're going to have trouble sleeping tonight, but now you're going to also have trouble getting into your car. Sorry about that. He was hiding in the back seat of a woman's car, armed with a pistol, handcuffs, and a police scanner.
That's literally my worst nightmare. Like, I get
You
it.
better check the back.
If it's at nighttime, I get into my car. I know there's no way that anybody's back there, but I check every single time.
There could be a way.
Because it's gonna, the one time I don't check, that's when there's somebody back there.
Yeah. He was, pistol, handcuffs, and a police scanner. Like, he was ready.
Why the police scanner?
Because he was listening to see if anybody called in on him.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, because remember, he was a junior deputy associate, whatever. So he had his own police scanner.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I hate that.
Yeah, right.
So
Thankfully, he was caught, and a jury took only 30 minutes to convict him of armed trespassing. Thank God. Like, finally, something. He was sentenced to 5 years in jail, but only ended up serving just under 19 months. Like, come on, guys.
Yeah.
Maybe a little bit more.
5 years sounded good. I was like, that's great.
Like, get him off the streets.
Yeah.
No. It's of note, though, that the judge offered him help and the ability to serve his sentence in a psychiatric hospital, but Gore refused.
Yeah, he doesn't think anything's wrong with him.
Nah, I'm totally fine. After that short reprieve in killings, no surprise that after he was released, the killings began again.
All of a sudden.
Wow, we have what's happening? Nothing tying these things together at all. The short reprieve was ended when Barbara Ann Byer and Angelica LaValle, both just 14 years old at the time, were picked up by the killing cousins while hitchhiking. Barbara Byer was born December 29th, 1968 in Orlando, Florida. She had a very close-knit family, and they loved to travel together, especially going camping. So sweet. It's like hanging out with the fam, making eggs over a fire. Like, so cute. She and her brother really loved to look at the stars together. That was their bonding time.
That's very wholesome.
So sweet. Her father described her as a highly intelligent, gifted, and independent child. He also made it a point to say that she was not easily influenced by others. During one of her stubborn moments, she decided to run away from home. But, like, haven't we all, girl?
Yeah.
Like, yes, get out.
Yeah.
Like,
Because you think you know everything, and
right.
you're like, no.
Like, I could do this better.
Right.
Bye. Like, y'all are too hard on me.
Yeah, we've all been there. And she knows how to camp, okay? She's
right.
set.
She's going to live off the wilderness. Angelica Jean LaValle, or Angel, as her friends and family called her, was born February 8th, 1969 in Orlando, Florida. She was the beloved daughter of Richard, who carried around the guilt and burden of her death for the rest of his life. Poor guy. So sad to read about. After Barbara had run away, she convinced Angel to join her. Like, little friends. Like, I'm out of here. You want to come too?
She's like, I got your back, girl.
She's
Let's
like, wait,
go.
let me pack a bag real quick. Yep. The girls packed a bag and put their thumbs out to hitch a ride away from Florida. Unfortunately, they were picked up very quickly by these two monsters instead. The girls were abducted at gunpoint, handcuffed to each other, and driven to the orange grove. They were assaulted repeatedly by both men before Gore shot both of them in the head. Ugh. So they were 14.
14.
Babies.
Mm-hmm.
He then kept up his MO and dismembered them and disposed of their bodies. Barbara was eventually partially found in the orange grove. Her partial skeleton and skull were found in an overgrown canal. Angel's body has never been found, even though there were many exhaustive searches. According to Angel's father's widow, Jerry, this is the woman who married Richard after the murder, Richard never really could accept the fact that it wasn't his fault. He believed that as her father, he should have been able to protect her.
Yeah.
Which is so sad. When Richard's health was declining, his family believed it was worsened by the trauma of this case. His dying words were, "Don't let Angel be forgotten." Because they never found her.
Right.
They didn't have any piece of her. I'm sure they were still like, well, maybe there's a chance she's out there.
Yeah.
Maybe she got away, Because you don't have anything.
Yeah, you can't really move on when you don't have the remains of the person.
Exactly. Both families were very involved in the nearly 3 decades-long legal process, often advocating for harsher punishment for Gore and Waterfield. Nancy Byer advocated against the release of Waterfield, stating that she, quote, hoped he had a miserable life for the grief he caused. Like, same.
That's a very nice way to put it.
Right. I hope prison's awful.
Yeah.
Hope it's really bad. Okay, and that is the end of our first part, but I want to close this out with a gem. Remember I told you to remember that cheerleader story from earlier? Mm-hmm. Okay. So Gore hated the cheerleaders at his high school because he called them snobby, right? They were mean to him, air quotes. Well, he had a plan to get back at them. Years after his arrest, Gore detailed his grand plan to abduct an entire school bus of cheerleaders.
Oh.
Yeah, he had a plan. Gore and Waterfield were going to buy a used school bus, fix it up, and paint it to look like the real school bus. Gore was then going to tamper with the original bus while the girls were getting ready to leave the school. Waterfield would be following them in a decoy bus. When the bus inevitably broke down, he would be ready to jump out, flash his badge, and direct the girls to the other bus.
This is very elaborate.
It's so right. And, like, you think just 50 girls are going to be like, oh, yeah,
okay,
cool.
Sure.
This seems like a nice bus. And they were going to rig the new bus so that the team would be trapped on it and they wouldn't be able to get out. They would then drive them to the Orange Grove where they could take their time assaulting and killing the entire team. The entire team they wanted to take out.
Yeah.
Don't worry.
Worked out for them? Sure.
These idiots. The plan quickly fell apart when neither Gore or Waterfield could find a bus to buy.
Right.
Couldn't even get the bus. Like, just couldn't get that far. They were like,
apart.
oh, so much work. Sorry about it. Yeah, no, they're totally idiots. It's a miracle they knew how to tie their own shoes.
Yeah.
Honestly. Rest in distress. Ugh. Okay, and that's it.
Yay!
Thanks so much for listening to our first podcast. Hope everyone enjoyed it. I will have 2 more victims, including the incredible survival story of Regan Martin, the trial, and life after the verdicts in our next episode.
Looking forward to it.
Thank you. Yeah. Make sure to check us out on Instagram, TikTok, and you can even send us a Gmail if you want.
Yes, you can.
Alrighty.
Love ya.
Love ya.
Bye.
Bye. Listen to us on Spotify, Apple Podcast, or YouTube.
You can also find us on Instagram at The Vibes Were Off, TikTok at The Vibes Were Off Podcast, or good old-fashioned email at thevibeswereoff@gmail.com.